I just made 2 videos and they disappeared right after I made them. They were about my Atlantis series about the, well, god damn it, there was so much shit in there. And it was two-parter. I started loading one, right? It was going through and I was like, I can't wait. I have to finish before I lose my train of thought. Because it skipped out. It stopped right in the middle. And then I was like, well, I'll just make a part 2. Started loading it. And then I was like, I'm gonna lose my train of thought, so I stopped. I went and filmed the other one, and they're both done. And then go back to load the video, and they're both gone. And so now here I am, like all grumpy and mad and shit. Why is this the only thing you could do is be grumpy and mad? I was being more thought provoking than I've ever been in my life, and the dang video has just disappeared. That is so gay. Who's out there that? Let me just start the fuck over. But I can't be mad though. I wasn't in that mad frame of mind that helped me to remember and correlate all this shit. I don't know. I think there's some real gay intention out there. Not the gaydies. I'm talking about like the act of being gay. I'm not talking about gaydies or sexual orientation. That's not my. But this is just terrible. Oh Lord. I mean, I might not be able to do that again in my life. Like, it's not that it's hard to speak and say things. Like, I get a troll that tells me just, collect yourself and, you know, just stand and deliver this, speak. Just speak. Oh, just speak. But, motherfucker, I'm already done with it. That's the thing. Now it's not gonna happen. I'm telling you because I ran through this already. Like, Lord, when you get a perfect take, it just fucking. Well, I mean, if you're out there and you can hear me, then fucking just fucking. I'm done. I'm released of my charge. You know. It's unfortunate because I feel like something was taken from people. You know. Like I can't be selfish. Uh, it's like to get the message out there, I had to be more selfish, but now I don't. So what's that gonna mean? You know, it stands to reason that uh, the what do you have, like a crucible or something, and then you have like uh, um, protocol during the crucible. There's like protocol during the crucible overlapping. Like you can't, like a crucible is a crucible when you go through, right? But to suggest that you might have to go through it again if you don't follow certain protocols, like that might be what have you, you know, like that message was for somebody else. I don't, and whoever resonated with that message, that was for you, and they just stole it from you. They just stole it from you. Not saying that I'm God's gift to humanity, but I'm God's gift to those who resonate with my message. That's the message that I resonated with, and the reason I put a lot of emphasis and interest in that. You know, it was culminating. And I trusted a device. I trusted technology. It let me down. Um, and for me to try and start over, I'll be disappointed. You know that. Just like you would know, I'd be disappointed if I was completely immersed 100% in politics and I would never rise above alpha or beta frequency, right? Just like you know that if you put some expectation on some event that's going to happen at a you know at a certain period in the future, right? Then you got me, you know. Um, and if you convince me that there's something I have to do, then I'm dead, like stuff like that. But the reason I um, messed up this time was because I still had some trust in the technology that it was going to facilitate. But when the message came about, when I was able to transmit it, like physically, I used this device to help me transmit what I could transmit, and it now I feel a different way. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm discouraged, because anytime I go on a rant that's not um, uh, planned or something, then there is the potential then to uproot, that intention to keep the message away from its designated, you know, its designation. The only reason that I try to give this um, away is to make room for another. For more information as it relates to trying to rise out of the circumstances that I'm in. Um, it doesn't make sense to people because they're not me. It doesn't make sense, like, that I might um, not want to do the same thing and operate within the modality, right? So, okay, I'll give you some elements of what was in that message. The only universal principle is the universal lack of principle. So if you want to know what a principality is, it is something like a state, you know, like a government, like a state, but it you wouldn't, if they had principles, then there would be no more, right? Like an energy commission. If they had principles, like, you don't want the energy commission to have principles if you're in favor, right? Or if you're this, you know, the most powerful state. But eventually they will turn their back on the most powerful state. They always put a state within a state. They have one in England where there's no laws and all kind of like furry shit going on. And then they have over here in Washington, D.C., where the lawmakers are not able to be, you can't enforce laws on the highest echelons of the judicial, because they make the laws. Like, they don't jail themselves. They don't enforce laws on themselves. They have the apparatus to enforce laws. You're not gonna enforce a law on yourself. That's like seppuku. That's like harikiri. Man was created by destructive energy. It's building each other up is noble, because we're consolidating, to put up a resistance and a opposing force to our shared foes. So it's noble, but man is created by a destructive force, and that destructive force needs to be harnessed by principalities. They want to compartmentalize. So they're compartmentalizing, like the battery, like cells in a battery. They